Welcome to the WAN show, everyone.
You just go live while drinking?
Well, I was trying to go drink before going live, but then the going live happened before I was quite ready. Because, see, the little green square goes on in the corner. You know what? I'm still thirsty. 1 second.
All right. Good start.
Sorry, I was just... Well, I did the other live stream earlier today where we answered the question once and for all why there are so many people working here. Well, we answered the question what exactly it is that they do, but we actually did not answer why it is that we need so many of them. Maybe that'll be part 2.
Yeah, next time that you just don't know what to do on a Friday.
Yeah, next time Linus isn't sure what to stream on a Friday. Okay, so hold on a second. In my defense, I actually have plenty of ideas for what to stream on a Friday. Okay, would you like to hear them?
Sure, yeah.
Idea number 1, first impressions of the Huawei P30 Pro.
What are they?
Wouldn't that have been interesting?
Yeah.
I can't tell you because that's not what we did today. Idea number 2, first impressions of the Nubia Alpha, the wraparound flexible display smartwatch. Would you like to know what they are?
It's large and looks really weird.
Well, no, I mean, don't you want to know my first impressions, having actually used it?
Sure.
Yeah, sorry, I can't tell you. That's not what we streamed today. I had another... Wait, we're still good. Yeah,
Okay,
I had another idea. There's these like double capacity DIMMs that are pretty cool, and there's rebuilding the red camera, but that I need like 4 or 5 hours for, I think.
Yeah, that's going to be rough.
Anyway, well, so the problem was just actually that I didn't have enough time and space to set up the camera that I needed in order to do any of those other ones. So I went with more like a Q&A. So a lot of people have actually asked me that over the years. And I lied. I actually do intend to give my first impressions of the P30 Pro and the Nubia Alpha here on the show. That's actually kind of a great summary of my first impressions of the Nubia Alpha. Hold on a second. Here you go, ladies and gentlemen. That is a dead battery indicator. So I charged this morning when I got to the office.
Oh.
Yeah, it's pretty rough.
Wait, does it have a camera?
Yeah, heck yeah.
Oh, weird.
It's not very good. It's like potato camera, like iPhone 5 maybe.
That's higher than I was expecting you to say.
Maybe like 4S. I don't know. Okay. I'll do some more actual comparisons later. But yeah, I'm actually. It's one of those things where normally I don't really cover smartwatches anymore, but I feel like this thing is so utterly unique that it is worth doing a full dedicated video on, because there's a lot of stuff about it that is super bad, like really bad. I mean, I got less than 6 hours of, over 6 hours, less than 7 hours of battery life out of it today. Mm-hmm. That's not acceptable. Like it has sleep health functions. How is anybody?
Yeah.
Honestly, though,
it makes no sense.
This is something I almost feel like I should do a rant about, like the state of wearables right now. The number of them that have sleep tracker functionality but only last for a single day on battery. When am I collecting this data? My watch is on the charger. Obviously, this is an incomplete. Unless I nap a lot, it's not getting any meaningful sleep data from me. Like I actually found out to my surprise that the Galaxy Watch, which I hate, which is the reason I haven't reviewed it, because it just, like, I couldn't find anything good to say about it. The Galaxy Watch surprised me when I did have a nap when I was on vacation, and I woke up and it was like, your sleep was 73% efficient. And I was like, oh, cool. That one actually makes more sense than this one because it actually does last for a few days on battery. But my thing is that if you don't last for, prove me wrong. Okay, get ready.
Okay.
If it doesn't last for a full week on battery, there's not much point in it lasting more than 1 day.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
You're supposed to prove me wrong. You don't get the segment, do you? I want Luke back. Where's Luke?
No, like I know
Luke?
I know what you're trying to say, but if you're going for 2 days, who cares? You still need to worry about it every single time. This was actually the biggest problem that I had with the Pixel Buds.
Really? Right, because you stole those for a little while, didn't you?
Yeah, I stole them, and then I liked them, and then I found out that I hated them and gave them back. So that was because, like, I always just ended up in this really weird situation where I'd be doing something and they would just die. And I'd be like, this is terrible. But, like, They last long enough that like I don't remember to plug it in every single night because that's dumb. They last like 4 days maybe. But they die soon enough that you regularly run into issues of it just dying on you. So if it was like weekly, maybe I could remember to do it like over the weekend, or like once every 4 days you can like toss it on and be like, okay, yeah, it's getting a bit low. But no.
So I actually have the exact same issue. I've been trying to join the 21st century, and this is Sennheiser's Momentum something or other. I forget what the model number is. Let me look this up for you guys. Well, I think it's Momentum Wireless.
It's a nice case.
Earbuds. Let me see what they're called. Momentum True Wireless? Is that what they're called? Yeah, here they are. So I'm gonna go ahead and fire this up. This is the no. This is the Sennheiser Momentum True Wireless. They come in a nice little case. I've got it right here. It's a charging case, just like most wireless earphones. They're actually very comfortable. Like, they're quick to put in. They are truly wireless. There's no tether that goes between them or anything like that. They stay in really, really well for me. Like, I could do this forever. I'd get uncomfortable and nauseated before they would come out of my ears. Mm-hmm. They sound good. There's actually a lot to like here. But I don't know if mine are defective. See, that's one thing, because I'll find that I'll just not touch them for a little while, and I'll come back to them, and like, it's completely dead. Like, there's no indicator whatsoever. So I'm finding that as someone who uses earphones a lot, but not every waking moment of every day, I am also in this really awkward in-between where like I need them often enough and they're not available for me that it's really annoying, but I don't need them all the time, so I don't constantly have my finger on the pulse. Where's my battery life at? Do I need to charge these things up?
Yeah.
And like, honestly, they charge up really fast, and the Pixel Buds do too.
Yeah.
Like, if you've got an adapter cable and a battery bank handy, which like 99% of the time I do, like, that's fine, but my conference call starts in 3 minutes, and I don't have time for this right now.
Or it's like, it might take like 10 minutes to get a pretty good charge, but like, I want to clean the kitchen and have like a podcast going, and the kitchen's clean by the time that they're charged. It's like, ah!
So, I don't know, maybe it's possible that we're just idiots.
I don't think so. I just went out and bought like 3 pairs of Pixel headphones. They're Type-C, just plug them in, good to go. I just leave them everywhere. So that was another problem that I had. Like, you have the wireless headphones and you just forget them somewhere.
Right. So back to my complaint about the Galaxy Watch then. I was saying that if it doesn't last for, I would say a week is the magic number. If it doesn't last for a week, there's really not much point in it lasting more than one robust day. Like, one, no matter what you do to it, day. Because it's going to have to be part of your daily routine to charge them versus part of your before I go to work on Monday routine. Mm-hmm. Does that kind of make sense?
Yeah.
With that said, I can actually talk about some of the other things. So notifications are a hot mess. The overall functionality of it is just kind of weird. Like, I wish I could show you guys, except it's dead. But like, this much of the screen, like the part that actually really faces the user, like a traditional watch, has your watch information. Mm-hmm. And then down at the bottom here is your 6 or 9 most recently used applications or functions.
Okay.
Which is fine. It's kind of like an alt tab, like your last things, or like recents, your recents button on your Android phone. And then up at the top is all your toggles for like Bluetooth, airplane mode, wireless. Well, why are those there all the time?
Well, I was also wondering that about the apps. Like, it's like on the Tick Watch, you just swipe down and you get all the toggles.
Yeah.
You swipe to the left and you get all of the apps.
Right. So this is they're just there all the time. So it's kind of like they had more screen real estate, but they didn't have a clear idea of what to do with it. And that's the impression that I'm getting from it right now. With that said, the screen is it looks surprisingly good for how bendable it is.
Huh. You think it'll hold up?
And it feels okay. If you feel it, it feels a little bit plasticky, but also reasonably glassy. Like, it's not bad. It's clearly not the same technology that they'd be using in the Galaxy Fold. Like, there's a limit to how far you can go here. Look, it fired up. Okay, let's see if I can get you guys a little bit of a tour of it here. And then I can talk about Actually, we should roll the intro or something. Also, Luke's sick. Alex is here today.
Hi.
Here we go. Give you guys, the very brief tour. You're missing it because you're going to watch
it on screen. Yeah.
Nice. Takes a little while to boot up. Yep. It doesn't have integration with third-party music apps, as far as I can tell.
What?
I've only tried Google Play Music so far. I'm going to try Spotify as well, just as a sanity check. Did it die? It died while it was booting up, whatever.
Because that's the main thing that I like about a smartwatch is just switching the song. Because I'll be doing things all the time with my hands, and then you can just kind of go in with your nose and change the song.
See, that right there is what I miss about the Pebble. Honestly, I actually found my old Pebble Time, and I hot glued a magnet to the back of it, and then I hot glued another magnet to my motorbike, and then I just put it on there. Because you can have more than one smartwatch connected to your phone at a time. So while I'm riding with my gloves on, I can change the track.
That's smart.
You cannot do that with any modern smartwatch. It drives me nuts. Tactile buttons have a place, and that place is your wrist. The whole point of a smartwatch is that my hands are occupied or full or covered or somehow unable to... this is, here, look. This is how much time I'm trying to save. That's what you're up against, smartwatch. If you're not more efficient than that, the game is over. And that's one of my biggest problems with the Galaxy Watch, is I'll get a notification. It must be a power saving thing, because it does get multiple days of battery, and they must have done that somehow. Even with an always-on display, it gets more than 2 days, which is amazing. But it must be a power saving thing, because I'll get a notification on my phone. It'll be like, zzz. Oh, there's my watch notification.
Okay, because I've been having that issue too. I have the TicWatch, and it was the same time until maybe 2 weeks ago. And then it's a several second delay, and I just haven't worn it since.
Because that's what you're up against. This phone, okay, is locked. I can have it up and unlocked in that amount of time. If you're not faster and more convenient, you have no place on my wrist. And especially the ones that don't have an always-on clock, now you're not even faster and more convenient to check the time. So you lost to a traditional watch, and you lost to the phone. You were the best of no worlds. You're done.
And you're probably really thick, too.
You're burnt. Yeah, this one's a little thick. I think it looks cool. We had this debate, and you know what? I'm gonna roll the intro. We can debate whether it looks cool. One moment, please. Whoa, we're sponsored by the LTT store. What? And Displate, magnet-mounted metal art. And, of course, private internet access. Okay, now we've got some haters. Over there in the YouTube chat. So I'm going to go over to floatplane chat, which is my safe space.
What are they saying?
I'm going to see what floatplane chat's saying. I'm just loading it up now, so... I'm going to miss out on anything they said before, but why don't you go first? Explain to me why this thing is not cool. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to go up. I'm going to adjust I'm going to give them a better look at it while you talk us through why it's not cool. So hold on, I need to figure out which one the focus ring is. 1 second.
So I guess first of all, does it have an always on display?
Okay, so it has an always on display mode, but I have not gotten it to work.
So first of all, any watch that doesn't have always on display looks stupid. It's just like this dead thing on your arm. It has no utility as a watch and just should not be there. So second of all, the screen, it kind of looks like, is it Vision that has the stupid goggles like that?
I think you just hate Vision.
Yeah, I do hate Vision. Vision is the worst character, and
Vision is not the worst character. Okay, we can get into this later.
Okay, he was the worst part of everything that he's ever been in.
You were gonna say he should just die, but he did. So there you go.
And I was really happy because then I just didn't have to worry about
we can talk about
him and his crappy plot
Avenger later.
Happening.
But anyway, so the screen reminds you of Vision.
So as you already said, there's no utility of it wrapping around.
There could be. Oh wait, no. Okay, so I should clarify that. On the normal watch face, there's not really much purpose for it, but when you're reading a message, for example, you have so much more display available to you, like display for days.
But why?
Well, so you can read more at a time without scrolling. So you can read a longer message.
I guess so.
And you can do so. See, I would make the argument that it would look a lot dumber if you had a big round display versus a wraparound display.
Yeah, but like, those are two really dumb things. So, I don't know. I can't really put into words why I think it's ugly, because like, ultimately beauty is in the eye of the beholder. Can we just make a straw poll? Is it ugly?
No. No, you have to make your
You know
argument.
what's going to happen if we straw poll it, don't you?
No.
Okay, then just straw poll it.
Oh, weird. Floatplane has the wrong title. Oops.
Just, take it to the people,
Sorry, guys.
see what they think.
I guess we could do that. Is this gonna
It also
work?
kind of looks, I don't know. It just looks wrong. It looks like a watch that got ran over by a car.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to make my counter argument here, and if you'd really like, yes, we can straw
Also,
poll it.
Jono wants me to pimp the merch. I'm wearing merch.
We'll get to it, Jono. Jeez. Sales team is like getting too big for their britches. I think they run the place these days. Does it look cool? That's going to be the question. Yes, no, and improve spam prevention. Okay. All right, I'm going to post it to Floatplane first, and then we'll follow up with YouTube here. I'm going to vote. I'm voting yes, and you're going to have to go vote for yourself if you want to vote for... Oh, wow, there's stupid CAPTCHA.
Not going to even bother voting because I have
man.
so much confidence in the people just telling you that it's horrid.
Remember, too, these are, like, high-tech people.
I know, but, like...
Okay.
Thank you, people.
Linus's screen. You know what? If only 27% of people think something's cool, I would make the argument that that's pretty cool.
This is 27% of a segment that already is way more likely to be on your side.
Yes and no. They always side against me. You know that. The audience.
Then maybe you have a brand issue. You always talk like, oh, these companies, they have to really go in there and like fix their image, and you're here, everyone is voting against you, Linus.
Okay, so is it that I do a poor job of maintaining my image, or is it that I do a great job of building up the image of my team?
I don't know.
Either way, we're up to almost
you...
30% for me now, so I consider that a victory.
How?
Because this is something groundbreaking, okay? Look, if you take the average person watching a tech stream, okay, and you show them one of those outfits off of like a Paris fashion runway, right?
Yeah.
Do you think 30% of people are going to like it? Do you think they're all going to be wearing some derivative of it in 5 years?
Okay, what about this instead?
Concept.
This shirt.
Also this shirt.
Do you think if we were to do a vote on that 70% of people would say, no, it's bad?
No, but this
and
is
would
just
you
a
then
shirt.
suggest
It's
people
simple.
to go out and get it?
Okay, now hold on. To be clear, the question isn't whether people should go buy this or not. The answer to that is 100% clear. No, they shouldn't. This is nowhere near ready for prime time. I just think that there's a lot of potential here. I think it looks cool. Looks cool. In like a nerdy way. Okay, fine. Here's where we can validate your credibility here a little bit.
Okay.
Do you think calculator watches are cool?
Yes, I do. I am.
Okay, then you're actually fairly credible. You're wearing one?
Yes, I am wearing one right now.
No way. Okay, I swear to you, this was not staged. I had no idea. Why are you wearing a calculator watch?
Because it's really thin. That's like the main selling point. It's nice and thin. Sure can go right over it.
You could wear anything that would be thin.
I don't know. I think they're kind of cool. And so, like, that's what you're up against. You're up against someone that really likes calculator watches that's telling you that your tech watch looks dumb.
I mean, that's a little rough. Hold on a second. Let's take it a little more mainstream. Let's go out to the YouTube audience and see what they think of it, okay? I'm going to post it in the YouTube chat. Guys, help me out here, all right? Please help me out. Is the Nubia Alpha cool? Does it look cool? Not is it cool? It's not cool. It's a bad time, but finish him, says Sorcier X. Okay, I don't like this. Okay, come on, YouTube. Come on, YouTube.
It's holding pretty steady, actually. I'm surprised.
It is holding pretty steady here at 70-30.
Although probably no one's through the spam rejection yet.
I still think there's room for it to be a commercial success, even if only 30% of people think it's cool. Because my other argument for how many people need to think something is cool in order for it to be cool is like high school. If you had 30% of your class on board with anything, would that probably be not a simple majority, but the largest of the factions majority? What would that be? Like the mode or the mode?
I'm pretty sure that if 30% of high schoolers were wearing that, you would have teen pregnancy just plummet.
It always comes back to whether you're getting laid with you, doesn't it? All right, fine. Why don't we jump into an actual news topic then, now that I have been summarily defeated? Apple is canceled, or not is canceled, is canceled. I was going to say is canceling or has canceled. I'm going to go with has canceled. It's official. Apple has canceled AirPower. Were you even following this?
Kind of.
I had forgotten about it.
Yeah.
I had honestly completely forgotten about it. I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool. And then I completely forgot about it. So for those of you who forgot about Apple AirPower, basically it was a 3-device charging pad that had 3 spots on it so you could charge your AirPods, your Apple Watch, and your iPhone. So it was like the accessory for people who must have every Apple accessory. And basically they said after much effort, so this is their senior vice president, Dan Riccio. I tried. After much effort, we've concluded AirPower will not achieve our high standards and we have canceled the product. We apologize to those customers who were looking forward to this launch. We continue to believe that the future is wireless and are committed to push the wireless experience forward. All right, so this was way back in at the iPhone XS launch. No, at the iPhone X launch, I think, in September 2017, yeah. And then they removed it from their website in September 2018 during the XS launch. And we don't actually presently know exactly what was causing problems, but there is some speculation that because it was It used a trio of charging coils, utilized a series of cooperative flux generators to charge the device after locating it on the pad and software, and this might have led to complications in design and manufacture. I also saw some speculation that it was regulatory issues that were making it difficult to get approval for it. So, like, maybe there were concerns about just how much wireless power was going on. I mean, you put too many flux generators in, one room, and you might have,
Well, it's probably really inefficient.
1.21 gigawatts, something. Yeah, that is an interesting factor.
Because like it's pretty inefficient anyway when you have everything lined up.
Yeah.
And if you're just putting everything there like willy-nilly and then using software, it's probably really inefficient.
That's actually interesting. That makes a ton of sense. So if they would have had too much waste heat, because when you're charging 3 devices, and of course, no one's going to be content with slow wireless charging anymore.
Yeah, no.
So that iPhone XS or like XS Max that's on there somewhere, people are going to expect at least like 8 to 10 watt charging off that thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that could potentially lead to a ton of waste heat. And there could be failure issues. So basically, it sounds like they did the math and they just couldn't make it make sense. All right. I mean, I'm sure we're going to see some kind of wireless power in the future. There's certainly other options, but bummer.
Well, I guess there's one topic that I want to discuss.
Oh, okay, fine. We can move into another topic. I guess that was all there is to really say about that.
I don't have anything else.
I mean, we just used it as...
It's too bad.
Okay, so here's the thing. People often assume that we're somehow very anti-Apple because our thumbnails are often like, "Rah, rah, Apple something." Do you want to know why?
People click it?
TechLinked was where we learned that just putting something about Apple in the thumbnail basically means that you have effectively like increased your potential audience by at least 30%.
Huh.
So of the 5 most watched episodes of TechLinked, no one's buying iPhones, I'm almost sad for Apple, Apple's getting desperate, and Apple's big FU to China. Of the top 5.
And the other one is EA.
Killing PlayStations, which we all knew was going to be very popular. And it's one of those bizarre things where it's like, I don't know why it works. I truly don't understand why people care as much as they do about everything that Apple does. Like their recent services news event. Did you watch it?
Nope.
Me neither. But I did definitely read some summaries of it.
Yep.
And it was such a nothing burger. We're launching a video streaming service. Okay. Yet another bloody thing to have yet another monthly subscription for? I'm excited about this. Why? Is Netflix really not keeping up? And if they aren't, is Amazon Prime really not filling the void? What about, is YouTube, all the many hundreds of thousands of hours of YouTube content that get created every day? It's probably millions by this point, but like...
In Canada, you have Crave TV.
Oh, Crave TV. All right.
Yeah, no. Crave TV is horrible.
Yeah, anyway. Oh, and then there's HBO. Like, I'm just kind of looking at it going, is there actually a shortage of video streaming services? Disney has theirs coming. So, like, woo. And then a Game Pass for, like, mobile games? The problem with mobile games is not that they cost money. The problem with mobile games is that you have to pay to win.
And also just the interface is normally kind of bad.
Well, yeah, there's that too, of course. but I'm looking at this going, what mobile games are people actually... Maybe I'm missing something on that one. Please, let me know. Let me know, Floatplane chat. Did I miss something critical on Apple's Game Pass, whatever they're calling it, that was exciting?
I feel like part of it might just be playing mobile games. Like, when's the last time that you've played a mobile game?
I played a bunch of Headball a little while back. They reached out about sponsoring a video, and I was just like, let's see if this is any good. Like, I hadn't even heard of it before, and I was like, let's just see if this is any good. And I sunk, like, probably 30 or 40 hours into it in the next few weeks until I was just like, and uninstall. Clearly, I cannot handle this.
Yeah, I don't remember the last time that I played a mobile game. Does the Switch count? Probably not.
No, the Switch is not a mobile game. The Switch is Nintendo. So, like, no,
Yeah,
definitely
totally
not.
different. I played Bike Race like 5 years ago.
Okay, so maybe you're just not the target audience for this then.
Yeah,
Like, is that a fair thing to say?
that is pretty fair, yeah.
I don't know. So, if you had played a mobile game recently, though, one thing I can say is you'd be blown away by the way that you're just bombarded with, like, please buy the optional items. Please buy more playtime. Please get skins, get skins, get skins. Oh, there's a special offer on skins.
Ugh.
Like it really does feel exactly like that. Like it's all over your field of vision, and it's like uncomfortable, and you're like, please move away. Like you wanted to lift up your hands and like push my hands away, and but no, it's there. It's in your face. And so if there was some way for them to fix that aspect of mobile gaming, sure.
Yeah, that's nice.
Yeah, I could get into that. And if that's their long-term plan, is to encourage game developers to move away from these pay-to-win models by making their games more lucrative to have people just play normally through this service, then you know what? Maybe that is a huge deal and we should all be that excited. It just doesn't really sound like that right now.
Actually, just speaking of horrible monetization, I have to give Apex Legends just mad props for how like non-invasive it is in your face. Because I played PUBG recently and was just like, oh my god, this is horrible, and I paid for this. And basically every other free-to-play game that I've ever played has been horrible, and you just kind of ignore it. But Apex Legends got it, and I hope that everyone else just kind of follows there.
Or maybe they're just gonna play the waiting game, and it'll just creep its way in. Because here's the thing.
Oh, but it's already there.
Yeah, it can make its way. It can become more intrusive. Because here's the thing. If they're looking at it going, okay, we're making $1 billion a month or whatever, like the kinds of numbers these free-to-play games do are just incredible to me. So we're doing like, $1 billion a month on, 3 billion impressions, where they 3 billion times like putting it in front of you. If we do 6 billion impressions, we could make $2 billion a month. You don't think that'll be tempting at some point?
True, yeah. Now that I say that, PUBG had none of that at launch. And now it's just...
Because the thing is, like, at a certain point, there's almost no drawback to selling out. Because the developers of PUBG have now made so much money that nothing else they ever do ever matters. At least at the very top of the food chain.
That is true,
If they never succeed again, it doesn't matter. They already won the game. They can literally go out and buy a new Ferrari every week for the rest of their lives, if that's what makes them happy, and just crush the old one in a crushinator, and that's how they get their jollies.
That would be so fun.
They can actually... No, it wouldn't.
No, yeah, I would never do that. But
I think, the thing about... like those supercar companies, they're very protective of their brand. I think they would actually start refusing to sell you cars if you made a habit of publicly destroying them.
It would also just be so bad.
Now that's the kind of thing that would be interesting to find out for sure. Very expensive to find out for sure. Like how many Ferraris can you buy before they stop selling them to you? Like what are you doing with these?
Ferrari's probably one.
You think so?
Lambo, I think you could get away with like a lot more.
Yeah, well, I know that Deadmau5 had a bunch of issues with Ferrari. Like, they didn't even want him to put his stupid Nyan Cat skin on it or something like that. I was like, really? Like, you're idiots. But I think that was just that dealer, wasn't it? I don't think that was actually Ferrari HQ. I don't know. People get really wrapped up in brands in a way that I find very confusing. Speaking of brands, we should do our sponsors. Starting with the LTT store. For the first time ever, we are actually doing a discount code on the Linus Tech Tips store. So that's lttstore.com. It is $10 off orders over $50. And this is really exciting. We now have, as of I think about a week or two ago, I haven't been talking about it too much just because we weren't really sure how great it was and I didn't want to oversell it. But we now have much lower shipping rates. And I've seen even people in Europe reporting that they're getting shipping rates under $10. So,
oh, nice.
Yeah, no, it's like way better than it was before. And we just launched a new series of shirts called Elemental. So you can get the whole pack of them, I think. How do you buy the Elemental pack? Oh, okay. I don't know if we have the Elemental pack. But at any rate,
So that's this shirt. Yes.
Here it is in a bunch of different sizes. Woo! So yeah, there's a bunch of different colors. We've got orange and blue and green
Oh, we've got them here.
and red. So
Red
I'm wearing
and
the
green
orange
and,
one.
Oh, jeez.
That's the green one. Alex has got the blue one. Anyway, we've got new shirts. We, of course, have the TechLink shirt. People are super into the TechLink Classic. This is selling shockingly well.
It looks cool.
No, I like it. It's just really clean. Like,
Yeah.
people don't have to know what TechLink is to appreciate it. That's something that we're really trying to get away from in a lot of the designs.
Yeah.
Is like, what's Linus Tech Tips? Who's Linus? Like, you don't want people asking you questions like that. Or if you do, you can buy this one. Or this one. Actually, this one moves really well too. Our top seller though, Constellations.
Yeah.
Like by a country mile. Constellations outsells all circuit boards combined, but I think circuit board overall is quite close to Constellations or outsells it. Then we've got our cable ties. We're going to be adding more and more stuff over the next little bit. Circuit
Yep.
board, my personal
Cable
favorite is
ties.
this one.
Oh, we also have the
I love this one.
the LTX lanyard here.
Oh, that's not for sale, but
Oh, well,
yeah,
if you go to LTX,
you'll get one.
cool.
Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Cable ties.
Yay.
Anyway, guys, go check it out. So we're doing an offer code. I think the plan was to be able to buy the entire Elemental set for some price, but I don't know. Maybe
Guess not.
maybe that got kicked in the head somewhere along the line. Also sponsoring today's show is Private Internet Access. With Private Internet Access, you can browse the internet privately without snoops keeping their eye on what you're doing. PIA supports a wide variety of VPN protocols and types of encryption and authentication and allows you to dial in the exact level of privacy protection you need. And if you're European, you're probably going to need it sooner than you think. With Article 11 and Article 13 looking like they are going to come through, you're going to want to pretend that you are not in the EU in the event that services and or media that you want to consume end up needing to cut off access to European users in order to avoid the restrictive and onerous obligations that the EU is placing on them in terms of copyrighted content. So go check it out at lmg.gg/PIA WAN. Get a head start on all that stuff and start using a VPN today. With PIA, you can log in up to 5 devices at the same time. So that's your phone, your laptop, your desktop, your SO's desktop, your SO's phone. Like, it's fantastic. Fantastic. They've got like 1,000 servers in like 30 countries or something like that. It's awesome.
Oh,
Go sign
damn.
up. And we have a new sponsor. Have you ever heard of this? That's actually like pretty cool.
Oh, yeah. They're
So
behind us.
They're behind us. So Displate is a magnet-mounted metal print poster. They're durable, and you don't need any power tools to hang it. They've got over 260,000 different arts spanning a bunch of different styles and influences. And with their easy magnetic mounting, there's no holes in the wall, and it's easily replaceable. They plant 10 trees for every Displate that gets purchased, and this weekend, through our link below, you can use code SHAZAM to save 30%. If you're watching or hearing this on Monday, bummer for you, you can use code LTT to save 15%. Oh, so you gotta be a live WAN show watcher in order to get the best of this.
That's straight. I can't tell.
It's not straight, I don't think.
Okay. Let's just own it.
So yeah, protective leaf, one use only. Put your magnet thing on there. Yeah, you know what? Fine. I'm into it.
All right.
Yeah, actually, I want to give them a better look at the WASD one though. Looks pretty cool. So if you want some arts for your walls, very straightforward. Just a metal sheet, and its print quality actually looks really good. Huh.
And on this one, like, the printing almost adds character. Does that make sense? Okay.
Okay. I think
Did you
I
get
nailed it. Not 100% sure, but we'll call that good enough. So that's lmg.gg/displate WAN. We've got that right there. All right. Now, I'm sure we had some other topics. You had something you wanted to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah, hit me.
So people get mad at us when we flame things that are fundamentally pretty good. And so I just kind of wanted to, because we both had videos in like the past week where this happened.
Yeah. Yeah, actually. You know what's really funny is I actually had some notes for myself to address that, I think, in an upcoming video.
Huh.
Not a dedicated release. So, like, yeah, I'll talk about it all now, but I think I was going to talk about it in my Huawei P30 Pro video.
Huh.
Actually. Yeah, go ahead, though. Go, please.
Well, I was just thinking, like,
What was yours, though?
the HP X360, the Spectre X360.
Yeah.
Because, like, I'd probably give that if we, like, gave things scores, which I think is a terrible idea.
Yeah.
Like, 87%, probably.
That's
Maybe.
an A.
Yeah, that's an A.
Really, 87%?
Yeah, it's not quite a 90.
With that motion blur on the display?
I was thinking of the 13-inch, but
Okay. What about the other one? Because that display was unacceptable.
it has other display options. I don't know.
Okay, fine. So the shell.
Yeah,
Okay, but the potential machine that you could buy, you'd say it's an A, a low A.
yeah.
Okay, fine. Go ahead.
And we basically completely
eviscerated it.
Yeah, we completely destroyed it
Yeah.
through the whole thing.
Our poor HP rep said, "I'm sorry you hated it
Yeah.
so much."
Even though, like, I wouldn't say that I hated it. It's
No.
pretty good. It's just worse than everything else.
Right. And then my recent one that you're probably thinking of, I think, is the S10.
Yeah.
Is that right? So my issue with the S10 was not that it was a terrible phone. And at no point did I say it was a terrible phone. In fact, if you wait till the end, and we know that a great large percentage of you don't, if you were to wait to the end, you would hear that the conclusion is it's super fast hardware on Samsung's best software experience ever. And if you buy it, you'll be pretty happy with it. The reason that I went to town on it was that the problem that I had with it, the hole punch display, was completely avoidable and is dumb. There was just no reason to do that. And the funny thing about it for mine was that, in particular, I got accused of being paid off by Apple or Huawei to criticize the Samsung S10 Plus, when, in fact, the phone that I compared it to most was the Note 9, my daily driver, that I don't hide, that I'm actually a Samsung daily carry user. And that Samsung tried to release an upgrade to my phone, and I didn't upgrade to it because I don't like it better. That's what happened. And so I did get one thing wrong in the video. So I mistakenly referred to the depth sensor on the front as an additional camera. It's actually a depth sensor. Oops. We have kind of a weird relationship with Samsung where, because we're Canadian, we don't really deal with the same PR reps and agencies, and we don't deal directly with Samsung's main office for North America, which is in the US. So we can actually get a device, but it's often later than anyone else gets it. And we don't get the same level of briefing materials that other people do. Occasionally I miss things. That's something that there's no excuse because it was covered by third-party media before. But it's just like, okay, sorry, I tried. And the other thing, too, was that I came out criticizing the ultrasonic fingerprint sensor. I'm still critical of it. Do I have? No, this is my Note 9 in my pocket. Oh, with D-brand skin now. Woo. Or grip, rather. So the other thing was the fingerprint sensor. So just for a sanity check, today, as I was working on my P30 Pro review, I pulled out the S10 Plus that I used for my review, and I did acknowledge in the video. See, this is the thing. I did acknowledge in the video that with the software update, it got a lot better. But I pulled it out, and I just played this game. I played the game where I unlock both of them side by side, and it's like half the speed of the P30 Pro at best. Now, there is an animation adjustment tweak that I read somewhere that can help improve it, and I'm going to see if that helps enough. I doubt they're going to make up that much ground. And so we've got people saying, why are you hating on it? Why are you hating on it? Marquez showed that with his hands wet, it was working great. So a couple things. I'm not hating on it. It's better than having it on the back of the phone. That's for darn sure. That's something I was always against. What I'm saying is that it's not as good as other options in the market. Furthermore, I never said I had trouble when my hands were wet. I said it was inconsistent when my skin was dry.
Well, I guess that's kind of the problem with like Ultrabooks and phones. Like, there's a bunch of them, and they're all very good. So if you're like taking a laptop and going head to head with like the Microsoft Surface laptop and the MacBook Pro, you have to be as good as those. And if it's just something like, even if the trackpad wasn't bad on the HP, the screen was wobbly enough that I still would have just hated it. And that's enough when you're going up against like the MacBook Pro and the Surface laptop. If the screen just wobbles a bit while you type, no, don't want it.
If you're a few $100s cheaper, then there's a lot more room for me to say, okay, but you save a bunch of money. I mean, that's where someone like OnePlus comes in and wins a ton of points. Honestly, they're not cheap anymore. They're not a flagship killer anymore. But what they are is significantly cheaper than a Samsung. If you're Samsung and you're releasing literally the most expensive phone on the market every once in a while with your Note series and your S series, it's just a higher standard. There just isn't room for you to have a fundamental problem like a wobbly display. And in the case of the HP laptops, they were very expensive. They were priced comparably to machines that didn't have the problems. So here's the thing. If it was a score, absolutely, we could give it an A. We could give everything an A. Quite frankly, between companies the size of Dell and HP rarely engineer something that is C-. I'm not saying it doesn't happen.
I'm just trying to think of the last thing that we had in here that wouldn't have gotten an A. Okay, that.
Yeah. But when it comes to whether or not to buy, it's a fairly binary choice. You either do buy or don't buy. And sometimes we can make an argument for a certain customer to buy and a certain other customer not to buy, like in the case of something like a Quadro graphics card. If you're a gamer, not to buy. If you're a professional, SolidWorks user.
The Alienware Area 51 app.
Sure.
That thing is awesome. I recommend it to people with lots of money and that need a desktop replacement.
There. It's a qualified yes to buy. But if you're in the awkward situation where there's someone who does everything you do well a little better than you at the same price or lower, then that becomes a not to buy for anyone. And so it ends up getting beat up a little bit, and hopefully they do better next time.
It ends up getting just nitpicked.
Yeah, and I guess
people get mad about that because it's like, it's not a big issue.
Yeah, and I've seen a lot of comments lately like, you guys are spoiled, you just hate everything. But it's not about that. Our job is to hate everything. Not hate it, but tell you the things that we did notice that are not as good as something else. Like, our entire job is to make it so that you buy the right thing instead of the wrong thing. And I mean, honestly, here's a question for you. Is the role of the technology reviewer dying? The traditional role of helping people make the correct decision before they buy, is that fading away? Would you like me to make my argument a little bit further before you answer?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So 10, 20 years ago, it was pretty commonplace at the local electronics boutique, your Radio Shack, for certain big ticket items to basically be buy once, don't return.
Yes.
So later on, with the advent of your big box stores, it did get easier to return items, but speaking from personal experience, if you do it too much, the staff do get to know who you are, and they, avoid you when you walk in the door. Look, there was a thing once where we did Eyefinity with TVs at NCIX, and because we didn't want to open up our own TVs, they actually sent me to the local Future Shop to buy 3 TVs, and then back to the local Future Shop to return them, and I was like, well, I want to do this video, so I guess that's what I'm doing today. Anyway. So thanks to online retail and very generous return policies, we've actually had issues. So some of the phones that we've put on our eBay store, for example, not some of, hey, Tyler, is he still here? Tyler told me a little while ago that every single phone that we'd ever listed got returned. Not because it was broken or anything, just because people were test driving them. And so, thanks to online purchasing, now everyone has access to a product. The whole concept of going to a store to see something, that's another thing. At a store, you're less likely to have to return it because theoretically you can try it right there in person. But with online, everyone has access to every product, and with these generous return policies, you can just take things for a test drive for a couple of weeks and send them back. Do you really need me to tell you if it's any good? You can find out for yourself if you're shameless enough to just buy things and return them until you're happy. I know that A Prime probably bought like 6 phones at one point when he was upgrading.
Like
10?
Probably.
Oy. Until eventually deciding on what does he carry now?
I think it's the Nexus or something.
Nexus or something? I don't know, whatever. Wait, Nexus? That doesn't make any sense. Pixel, you mean?
Note
Yeah.
9, maybe?
Whatever.
There's no way he landed with a Pixel 3.
I can ask him.
I don't know. I'm curious now. Anyway, so with all that background information, is the role of the technology reviewer changing and or dying?
No. Because with that HP, like the Spectre X360, someone would have bought it and they would have been like, this is really great. And they would have enjoyed using it. And they wouldn't have, unless they also had like the XPS 13 and the Surface laptop, if they'd already had those and returned them, then they'd see that it's not great. But if they just buy it, they'd be like, this is fantastic. Yay.
Okay, that's a pretty good argument.
Note 9.
Note 9? Yeah, okay. Okay, I can see that. I also saw a comment on YouTube where someone said, okay, that's a fair point, but it's actually a lot more work to buy something, try it for yourself. Switching phones all the time is a real hassle. It's actually one of the reasons I've done very few phone reviews over the last 6 months. I just got like really tired of it. It's a pain in the butt. I hate it. But anyway, yeah, I can see that. But if it's something that you care enough about, then I think that it's probably worth the time investment to make sure you get the right one. And I guess maybe that's something where I've noticed that there's a lot more tech press attention on more mainstream products from people who might not care enough to like passionately, look into every aspect of something in those 2 weeks. Like someone who has that kind of time to even spend on it within the return window. Maybe among more mainstream categories, those people are fewer and farther between. So it's like the motherboards and stuff where those people don't need reviews as much, and then maybe in mobile they still do need them. I don't know. Like I'm speculating at this point, but
yeah,
I don't know. I think there's certainly a case to be made that these days it basically comes down to you can kind of get access to anything to try it in North America anyway. There are certainly parts of the world where it's much more difficult. And the role of the technology reviewer is more like to be like a trusted advisor and maybe less critical. Should we be less critical? Should we straw poll it?
Sure. Yeah, why not?
Let's straw poll it. I want to know.
But I don't know. I would much rather spend like an evening watching 20 phone reviews than dealing with getting a phone. Like, it takes more time to just set up your phone than to watch the reviews of all the flagships. And also, like, I find a lot of the time, I just don't care. Like, I switched to the iPhone XS a little while ago from the Pixel and was just like, okay, it sort of annoyed me. I probably would have slightly destroyed it in the review, but at the same time,
It's fine.
after a week, yeah, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, I get accused a lot of being a fanboy of Android or iOS at this point. Honestly, if the iPhone had a headphone jack, I would still use it interchangeably. We'll get to that in a moment. I would still use it interchangeably with an Android flagship. Like, it makes very little difference to me. I just really do prefer wired headphones for the reasons we talked about earlier on the show. Like, for me, it comes down to I just don't really even care. I'm actually going to give the P30 Pro a really positive review, though.
Huh, nice.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Not because the camera is hands down the best. There's still some work to do on the color science, and there's like, so here's the thing: DxO Mark is not the be all and end all.
Yeah.
Because for me, a camera phone or a phone camera phone, that used to be a thing, because there were phones without cameras. So for me, a phone camera is really down to capture the moment quickly. Because if I really wanted, the best possible footage of it, I'd go get the Red that I literally own. So this is about making sure I don't miss something. And for me, what this does so well is because of that zoom lens, it means that if I get,
Yeah.
oh man, it automatically switched to portrait mode. No. Okay, he's moving around a lot. So because of that zoom lens, if I get a bad seat, okay, he's moving around. If I get a bad seat at the kids' like recital or something, I can now capture a moment that I otherwise wouldn't be able to. And that's a huge difference maker for me, even if I have run into some situations where I did find that I would have rather had a Pixel 3 or an iPhone.
Because that is what swayed me back to the Pixel from the iPhone, was just...
Right.
I found the camera wasn't as consistent.
You were using a 10R though, right?
10S.
10S?
Yeah.
Really? Oh, okay.
Because like I found that if I just like took it and like took a picture of a mountain, it would be the same, if not better.
Yep.
But if I'm just like whipping it out of my pocket and there's like someone walking, I could just like, and the Pixel gets it more often.
Kind of creepy.
Well, not. That is a creepy way to put it. But
Yeah,
if
it
it's
is.
like,
It really is.
if like Dennis is like falling down the stairs, I'm more likely to capture that.
Right.
On the Pixel.
Okay. Fair enough. So let's go ahead and show the floatplane results here while I go ahead and post our straw poll in YouTube, and then maybe Nick can. Sorry, Nick. I've been ignoring you. Okay. So I'm posting that there. I'm bringing the results up here. So overwhelmingly, floatplane says we should not be less critical. You should not. Okay, Nick, what can I do for you while the YouTube results come in?
Oh, I was told that you were curious where the bundle is for those shirts.
Oh, I wanted to know where the bundle is. Oh, yeah, I was a little curious.
Yeah.
It's dead?
like- Sorry?
It's dead?
No, it's just that with the way everything's set up right
Yeah.
now, it's literally not possible for us to do it. Right
Oh,
now.
we can't do the bundle with the store right now?
The store and apps and
Sure,
so
fine.
We'll try
Okay.
to figure it out later.
Okay, so there's no bundle for now. So that's
But there's a discount code.
But there's a
people
discount
people
code.
are using it. We had like 10 orders in like 10 minutes.
10 orders in 10 minutes.
That was good.
That's like one order per minute.
Yeah, dude.
Wow.
And I'm sure there have been many more since. I've been down here for like 10 minutes. Well, you're
Right.
ignoring me.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm just not talking to you. Have a great weekend.
See ya.
Oh, wow. It's like 6:15. Are you in the carpool today?
No.
Oh, okay. Well, at least I'm not keeping more than one person after hours then. So the YouTube audience is pretty much on the same page.
Yeah.
Okay, so
That is crushing.
we're gonna keep being critical. So I don't know where these outliers that are slamming us for being mean to things that they like are coming from. Maybe they don't watch WAN Show. Are these just like the drive-by non-subscribed people? Like
Okay, I've actually had a bit of a theory about this.
Okay.
Kind of a brewing.
Okay, share it with me.
Because on Floatplane, people that do like bad comments get flamed. Like I've never seen a community where people that like type in first get absolutely destroyed like they do on floatplane.
Okay, yeah.
And it's the same with just like general questions. Like stuff will go through where people will be very critical of us and they will get a lot of upvotes. But if people are like critical in a like kind of dickish way, they will get downvoted just because they're being a jerk.
Yeah, well, that's one of the things that really does stand out about floatplane is it's a much more constructive comment section.
And so I'm thinking like on YouTube, you pretty much only see the ones that are voted up.
Mm-hmm.
And so even if like 4 out of 5 people see that and they're like, that's dumb and would have downvoted it, they can't. So then it just goes up and then people are still commenting. So that gives it more exposure. And then more people are hitting like that, like 1 in 5 people. So even though it's like the 3rd top comment.
Yeah. And YouTube is
a
also
whole bunch could disagree with it.
This much greater sample size. So even if only 1% of people feel that way, that's still 10,000 people.
And that's probably how like extraordinarily dumb comments rise to the top, even when like the 2nd and 3rd reply are like, no, clearly, like they said in the video why they are doing this or something like that.
Right.
Or
that
like you are
sense.
just wrong.
Speaking of things that are just that are very negative comments. If you ever thought to yourself, I'm going to post this in floatplane first, so you guys get the first crack at this. If you ever thought to yourself, you know what I would love to attend is a roast of one Linus G. Sebastian. It's empty. Oh, right, the sponsor for the roast. Yeah, that's right. If you've ever wanted to attend a roast of me, now is your chance. For about 80 people in the Vancouver area, if you can be here next Friday. Friday, right? Yeah, next Friday. You will be able to attend in the evening the roast of yours truly. We have confirmed celebrity guests, Jay's 2 cents, Kyle from, what's he call himself now? Bitwit? Yeah, Kyle from Bitwit.
From Lyle?
Sorry?
Kyle from Lyle?
Lyle from Kyle from Lyle from. So we've got Kyle from Bitwit, and then we've also got Steve from Gamers Nexus, who are going to be part of the dais. We've also got some of our own staff here at LMG who will be roasting me. It's going to be fun, and
also your wife.
She will be roasting me as well. So guys, don't buy a ticket if you can't actually make it. We made them cheap. Because we don't, this is not a money-making endeavor. It's sponsored by Madrinas. They're making this whole thing possible. So it's promoting the LTT Lambo roast, the coffee roast. So it's a roast of me promoting the roast. And so we wanted it to be affordable, but we also made it cost something because we don't want people buying tickets and not showing up, because that's really, really pointless. So I'm going to go ahead and post this over on YouTube now. Lippity blop. There you go. So good luck. I hope to see you guys there. It should be a fun evening. Empty seats. I blame you guys. That's ridiculous. Don't buy a seat if you're not going to be there. But yeah, we really hope it's going to be a lot of fun. We are planning to live stream it. So if you guys do want to watch the live stream, make sure you are subscribed to LTT over on Floatplane. That's where it's going to be. There is a strong possibility that there will be things in the live stream that will not make it to the final YouTube release. Because, like, I don't know about some of the other people, but I think Jay is planning to kind of wing it. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. And that'll be a Floatplane exclusive stream, by the way.
I've heard some, like, jokes about him, too, leading up that are, like, kind of savage, so
yeah, for those of you not familiar with the concept of a roast, it's not all going to be targeted at me necessarily. Like some of the dais members can actually dais, I don't know, whatever. Some of the roasters can roast each other and stuff. I get a chance to roast them back, so it's gonna be solid fun. Apparently it's sold out. LOL.
Rip.
Okay then. And it's gone. So hopefully we'll see you guys there. We should have made it more expensive, actually. I really hope that people didn't just buy it because it was only $10 and then
resell it,
not show up. Oh, I don't care if they resell it. I just want the seat filled.
Okay, yeah, fair.
That's the most important thing. All right. Well, we had actually a couple of other really good topics. So this is unfortunate. Oh, actually, we have to do an LTX update. Bloody hell. Okay. So like Office Depot tricks customers into $300 tech support with their fake virus scanner. It was actually through support.com. They were the ones that were, well, they collaborated, and the FTC announced that they have to pay a total of $35 million in settlements. So
This
can
is
get
awesome.
Yeah, so that's good because fake tech support is a real scam that's really stupid and
Yeah,
bad.
basically it was a thing where if you checked boxes that was like, I think that I might have a virus, it would tell you 100% of the time that you have a virus.
And then it would recommend up to a $300 virus removal service for you at Office Depot. So that's really brutal.
It was found to happen on machines that had fresh installs of Windows
Yep.
and no access to the internet,
Yep.
and they would get like, oh, the viruses, you have all of them.
And apparently staff were even briefed to make sure that people with new machines like didn't run it because it would tell them that they had viruses.
Or that like once you've run their virus removal software, not to run their
Yep.
checking if you have viruses software, because it will tell you that you have viruses.
Also, Fido is going to start charging $10 for customer support that could have been done without calling into customer support. It does
This
not
just seems wrong.
doesn't apply to like asking about your account bill or how to complete a transaction through self-serve. And there are exceptions, including for customers with special needs. But basically, they're saying, look, supporting you costs money, so you're going to pay for it.
It just sounds like you're like a big ol' F you to Nan. Like Nan's there and she doesn't know how to go on the self-serve, so she like calls in and it's like, hey, how do I do this? And they're like, we can tell you for a price.
So it will impact quick transactions such as making a one-time payment or resetting a voicemail password. And while users can still call in, use live chat or social media services to make these quick changes, they are generally faster to complete through Fido's website or their interactive voice system. So they want people to use that so that they don't have to pay call center employees. Oh boy. Rogers' other brand, Chatter, launched a similar fee last week where customers are charged $5 when they complete select transactions or interactions over the phone with a rep where 2 or more self-serve options exist. Now, okay, I have a sort of controversial take on this. Mm-hmm. In certain cases, I actually do support service fees for completely unnecessary bullcrap. If you go to the real human teller to take out $40, you can kiss my ass because I have real things to do that actually require a human. You can go use the ABM, please. I don't mind them charging someone $3 to talk to a human to deposit cash in their bank account. That's stupid. However,
That does really annoy me.
customer support for something that you already pay, like Canadian wireless fees are not cheap, that you're already paying through the nose for, and they're healthily profitable. Thankfully, these are all public companies, so we can see if they're just scraping by, and they're not. To me, this is just a cash grab.
Also, the real takeaway here is you just shouldn't use Rogers in the first place.
Fair enough.
They're bad.
What are your alternatives? TELUS? And to be clear, I use a ton of TELUS services. That doesn't mean that I haven't had some very
your
bad experiences
Your
with them.
alternatives are Bell
Okay.
and TELUS,
Yes.
and both of them have just way better coverage. That's the only reason. Just don't get Rogers because their coverage is garbage. It's like passable here. In Nova Scotia, I was...
Well, yeah, but that's because they're from here.
Yeah. But like in Nova Scotia, it's bad. Like when I was there,
Yeah.
it was like pretty much the entire
If
time
you're
I
in
was just on
Eastern
bell
Canada,
towers.
it's just pointless.
And in Newfoundland, I think they have 3 towers for all of Newfoundland.
Right.
So like it's just not a phone. It's like a brick. You might as well have like a Chinese SIM.
All right, we've got one more update for you guys. LTX update. Blah, 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 blah. Come learn how to build a PC, delit a CPU, disassemble a GPU. Updates. Razer's showing up.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so they weren't going to come, now they are. DreamHack is adding 100 more BYOC tickets to go on sale later in April. The exact
DreamHack.
date and time will be communicated on social media and on WAN Show, apparently, before that date. So stay tuned, guys. BYOC sold out like the weekend we launched tickets, and so another 100 tickets we know is not going to be enough. So if you want one, freaking be there on your F5 key. Also, in other news, this guy is walking to LTX from where?
Mexico.
From Mexico. So yeah, apparently there will be daily updates, but there's a Pacific Crest National Scenic Trail that goes all the way from Mexico to Canada, and you can walk it. And so he is. And I thought that was pretty cool. Here's his tent. Good luck with that. Certainly dedicated. Here's your shout out. Massive props. All right, so thanks for tuning into the WAN show. I'll see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel.
So long.
Can you even believe that? Unreal.
Yeah, that's pretty sweet. Give him a job.
Someone says as long as he showers before the show, then we're good. Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah, I'm really excited for you, lads.
All right, and we're done.